right to your doorstep or office, carefully packed with love to ensure they arrive safely. It's time to lavish attention on yourself and your loved ones by surrounding yourselves with the lush beauty of nature. For further information, visit verdantlyfe.com now to discover a world of botanical wonders waiting for you.
Secret life of plants.
You're tuned in to Omega Radio with your host, Ofra Gaito, with Grow Your Life, the program that goes beyond houseplants and gardening. Good afternoon, everyone, and I'm here again, Ofra Gaito from Verdant Lyfe, here in South Florida, beautiful Coral Spring. And today we are going to talk about summer's tiny hunters. And when we say summer tiny hunters, there is a big reason for it. We are talking about carnivorous plants. And as you know, we are in summer season. And although in astronomical terms, it starts on June 20th and end on September 22nd, 2024, it is definitely the right time to get yourself a carnivorous plant to take care of the mosquitoes, insects, and bugs that bother us during this season. This is why we are talking today about summer's tiny hunters. Carnivorous plants teach us about the survival of the fittest and how life constantly adapts according to the environmental changes to sustain itself and reflect the complicated dynamics and balance of life on our planet. Carnivorous plants grow in wet, low nutrient sites, including bogs, swamps, forests, and sandy or rocky sites. Carnivorous plants can be found on every continent except Antarctica. They trap, digest, and absorb nutrients from animals, but rely on photosynthesis for energy. And I brought us today many carnivorous plants for you to see what I'm going to talk about, because there are over 720 species of carnivorous plants around the world. And you can see these beautiful pictures. And these pictures normally double and triple and sometimes become 8 times those sizes when they grow bigger. So we will talk about them, and I'll explain you how it works and how they trap the prey. It is actually very fascinating type of plants. We keep them in our greenhouse here in Coral Spring, and we are basically the largest supplier of carnivorous plants in South Florida. And as you know, we sell plants all over the United States and we ship them. So we are a different kind of business, and 80% of our business is shipping plants around the United States, live plants that arrive live. And we do give 30 days guarantee. The idea of plant eating an animal has always fascinated all of us. It is suggested that such unique plant play the role of consumer rather than producer in their ecosystems. The general name for this group of plant, carnivore, supports the idea. However, no known plant obtains a majority of its energy from the animals it eats and flourishes in poor nutrient environments, which carnivorous plants do. Many of them mimic the fragrance that flower produces and the nectar in order to attract their prey. Once they catch their prey, they digest it and turn it into their food. Prey is lured to the plant by specialized leaves or traps. So we have the Venus flytrap that has got very gentle traps, and those traps can identify when it is animal touching the actual traps, and it closes on them very fast and digests them into their food. So basically, prey is lured onto the plant by specialized leaves or traps, which may function as active or passive, depending on whether movement is involved in the capture. Venus flytrap closes the traps on the prey. Pitcher plants have specialized tubular, you see, it's like a tube, leaves that are often topped with hood, and this is the hood, the top part. And the plant nectar and brightly colored traps attract prey to the plant. The lip of the tube is slippery, and when insects land on the edge of the tube, they fall into the narrowing trap. So once the animal gets trapped inside this pitcher, they fall inside and get trapped by the actual pitchers. Downwards pointing hairs on the inside trap wall actually prevents the insects from escaping. The prey is digested by enzymes, and the nutrients are absorbed by the plant, and it continues living this cycle again and again, catching more. Their main diet is mosquitoes, insects, bugs, and mini reptiles. Yes. So, when I'm saying that, I brought you nice and big ones here that you can see how big, compare it to my hand, you can see how big these pitchers are. So when we say that they catches reptiles, we really mean that. It can catch lizards, mice, bugs, easily. They are huge. You can see them. You can see the actual cap of it. And they produce enzymes which digest the animal and turns it into food of this plant. So this is quite fascinating, the way carnivorous plants function. And this plant that I just showed you started from small pitchers. Actually, I have a small pitcher here to show you what it looks like when it originally started. This is a mini one, generally, and it turns into a huge one after a few months. So this is quite interesting how they grow. Now, they have a color which camouflage, and the pitchers, the animals that gets into the pitchers actually get confused because they think that when they inside the pitchers, there is all those beautiful colors, and they think that they have places inside that they can escape. And eventually, trying so many times to escape, the animals gives up and just fall into the nectar and get digested by the pitchers. So eventually the animal does give up, which is actually very interesting how the process is happening. So their main diet, the mosquitoes, insects, bugs, and mini reptiles, as I mentioned, and they prefer bright light and require high humidity. We water them with only rain or distilled water, and this is a very important issue. Do not use regular water. They require moist to wet soil in the warmer month and less moisture in winter. Of course, plants don't need so much watering in winter generally. But the carnivorous soil should never get dry. At Verdant Lyfe, we water them properly once a day and mist them twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. Normally in the morning, we water them thoroughly in the greenhouse. Garden soil is not suitable for carnivorous plants, so this is something that you should not try. They grow in sphagnum moss, or you can mix 3 parts peat moss to 1 part of sand. Their growing temperatures requirements vary, and some require a distinct cool dormancy period, but not all of them require dormancy. And again, as I mentioned, there is more than 720 species of carnivorous plants which are able to attract and trap prey, secrete digestive enzymes, and absorb digested nutrients this way. Their types of traps fall into 5 basic categories, but I will talk about 3 of them, and they are related to what we actually keep at Verdant Lyfe, and they're available on our website, which is verdantlyfe.com, and you spell it V-E-R-D like dream, ANTLYFE.com, and you can expect to have them probably a week to 10 days later, depend on which state you live at. The 3 basic categories are the pitfall traps, flypaper traps, and snap traps. We at Verdant Lyfe keep 11 different kinds of carnivorous plants in our greenhouse in Coral Spring here in South Florida. And the pitfall traps are modified, rolled leaves sealed at the edges, which contain a pool of digestive enzymes and bacteria. And that is the pitcher plants, as you can see. They secrete nectar sugars which attract insect prey and have downward pointing hairs that restrict their exit. The slippery, waxy flakes line, which are the caps helping to prevent the prey from escaping. By the way, spotted blotchy coloration creates patterns of light. You see what they look like, which appear to prey as false exits. But the insects eventually tire of trying to find a way out of the and basically fall into the trap. And that's when the digestive enzyme starts to play their role and break down the prey. Flypaper traps are butterworth and sundews. So here we have a sundew. This is a beautiful plant that you can see, one of the carnivorous ones, that secrete gooey proteins to attract and trap the prey. In butterworth, tiny glands make the leaf shiny with secreted mucilage, which lure and capture small gnats. The leaves respond to the stimulus of prey, touch by secreting more mucilage, and insect entrapment stimulates a second set of glands to release digestive enzymes. So the digested nutrients are absorbed through opening of the cuticles of these butterworth and sundews, which require the plant to live in humid habitat. And there are over 100 species of sundews with diameter ranging from ½ an inch to 40 inches. Then we have the snap traps, which are what we call the Venus flytrap. And the Venus flytrap, as you can see, with those beautiful traps, catch prey with rapid leaf movements. It is very fascinating. Only 2 species can move quickly enough to be categorized as snap traps. The Venus flytrap is easily the best known out of those 2. 2 parts leaves are modified for photosynthesis and for insect catching. The tips of the leaves develop into famous traps. 3 hairs on each of the 2 traps surfaces are so sensitive they can distinguish between raindrops and prey. So this is a very clever plant to know when it's an animal that it's touching or just drops of water, etc. If 2 trigger hairs are touched in succession, or one touch twice, an action similar to the one that causes your muscles to contract closes the traps within 1/10 of a second. The exact mechanism is not really understood, but some combinations of osmosis, pH change, and ion flow causes the 2 sides of trap to snap from open to bend inwards. So it closes on the trap. Fingers of stiff hairs mesh, preventing the prey escape. And it holds it like that, very intensely together. And basically preventing the prey escape. Secreted enzymes digest prey over a period of 10 days. And then the traps open again. It is estimated that each trap catches only 3 insects per lifetime, and then it dies. And new traps grows. In this one, you can see tiny little traps starting over here. These are tiny little traps. So it constantly will produce new traps, and the old ones, we just trim them with like baby scissors, and we keep on taking care of the plants, so new ones keep on growing. And just for more information, please follow us on social media, and remember, we ship our plants all over the USA. We are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, on many different platforms, and we also now improving our YouTube channel. And remember, your time, energy, and peace are the most important things in your life, so you need to navigate them through right channels, and one of them is growing and caring for plants. Wishing you all a beautiful and safe weekend. Get ready to elevate your space with vibrant greenery like never before. Experience the thrill of receiving exotic houseplants delivered right to your doorstep or office, carefully packed with love to ensure they arrive safely. It's time to lavish attention on yourself and your loved ones by surrounding yourselves with the lush beauty of nature. For further information, visit verdantlyfe.com now to discover a world of botanical wonders waiting for you.